Welcome, Aquarius, to your beginning of the month reading for April. Hope you guys are doing great out there. If you friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. Okay, guys, getting ready for that solar eclipse. So trying to get this out here as fast as possible so I can get that solar eclipse reading up for you guys. We're also going to be going through a Mercury retrograde, so also want to get that up so that way you know what's going on with that Mercury retrograde. Best messages. So guys, make sure you are staying tuned, right? Stay tuned. We have the Hangman coming in over here, which is talking about this beautiful letting go and surrendering, which is beautiful as well because, you know, as we know, we just went through a lunar eclipse, so, you know, of letting go. New things going on, new chapters coming through. It could have been ending an old chapter during the lunar eclipse, starting this beautiful new chapter, just waiting for it and accepting it with the deep insights. So it's definitely talking about this change, and it could just be the way you're thinking about things and perceiving things. You know, and eclipses last for at least 6 months. So yeah, definitely changing things around. Okay, so seeing the celebration and the friendship, bringing in new friendships, new community adventures could be as well. Getting out there into the community, seeing things within the community, having this happiness and this joy, this overall feeling of happiness and joy when it comes to the situation. Could have been a lot of anxieties, a lot of worries, stepping out of your comfort blanket, out of your comfort zone. Maybe feeling like I needed to. There could also be a lot of drama. I know that says trauma, but I just want to say there could be a lot of drama in the very beginning of the month that could also be carried over from that lunar eclipse. That lunar eclipse could be bringing in a lot of drama. Okay, so could even have someone who's a bad influence, someone who's in a bad mood, someone who's cold. So let's see what's going on. So clarify on what's going on now. Because I see that it's like, yeah, gonna go celebrate something. Yeah, because you do feel like there's going to be some kind of abundance coming your way that you don't want to miss this opportunity. There was a time that it did feel like you might have been giving up on this situation because, and it could be because they're being, you know, whoever this King of Cups is, there's a lot of bad advice to the situation, so you might have felt very overwhelmed or having some kind of failure to communicate, and it could be the failure of them communicating their emotions. So you could even felt like they were just being very cold towards you, and you're just kind of like, okay, this is causing nothing but anxiety. So I do feel like there's some kind of a better opportunity coming when it comes to the Emperor. So it does feel like no matter what the situation is, you're back into the authority. This could even be a father figure that's coming into your life, or you might feel like, you know what, maybe this person is, you know, a lot of discipline and has a lot of practicality. I do feel like for a lot of you, might have this new person coming in who is the Emperor, who is more practical than what the King of Cups is, because it does feel like the King of Cups is over emotional when it comes to situations and a little too secretive for you. So you might feel like there was a lot of, you know, you're just kind of coming to the conclusion that there was a lot of bad behavior going over here, a lot of sneaky behavior that you just didn't want to deal with anymore. Oh, definitely secrets. Yeah, Queen of, excuse me, High Priestess in reverse with the Five of Swords is nothing but sneakiness. That's all sneakiness. That's sneakiness and silence and just too much selfishness. You just might feel like there was too much going on over here when it came to the King of Cups. And I do feel like you have this Emperor who's coming in, whether it's a friend of your own father or just somebody who can, you know, actually have more structure and more leadership quality. Clarify on Three of Cups. So it does feel like whatever you're changing over here, it does feel like it's the changing, kind of almost like changing the guard over here when it comes to this. It just definitely does feel like it's either work, love, whatever the situation is. Definitely a relationship, no matter what kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, is another whole situation. But it does definitely talking about seeking personal closure with this person, where it does feel like there was some delays on how this was going to be closed, but it does feel like no matter what, it feels like now you're going to take that extra time to actually make sure this person understands you are making the ultimate closure. I'm sorry, we're not together anymore. There was no more giving and receiving. It feels like you're going to share the wealth with someone else. You definitely have the abundance of where you want to share your wealth, and it's not with this King of Cups. It does feel like, yes, you're moving on from this King of Cups, but you do want them to understand you know, that I'm not sharing my feelings with you anymore. I'm not sharing my heart with you anymore. I'm not sharing my stapler with you at work anymore. We're not friends. See what I'm saying? And there is going to be this shocking kind of closure. And it does feel shocking, my friends. Why? Because you're in hangman mode. Hangman says, I'm already got it in my head exactly where I'm going. And as soon as I get upside down over here, everything's going to be completely stable. Everything is going to be exactly the way I envisioned it in my head. Not only is the hangman over here envisioning stuff, but he's making manifestations, you know, like that's it, right? I'm visualizing stuff of how it's going to go down. When I get down off this pole, on the off of this gallows pole, I'm coming back, right? And I'm going to do exactly what I envisioned I was going to do. Because that's exactly what the hangman does. So he is going to make a tower and make sure that he's making that tower. So I do feel like you know exactly what you have envisioned. You know exactly where you're going within this situation. You can see it. You've had the insight and you know it. There's been a lot of recklessness when it comes to some certain situation. That's for sure. And you can feel that recklessness. You can feel it with the tower going straight towards the chariot over there. It's like the chariot says, because I have this sudden change, I'm going to make sure that this is exactly how I'm going to make this. This is exactly how it is. The universe is going to make sure that that is 100% taken care of, because that is a divine move. So not only are you thinking about it, but you got the divine over here saying it's going to happen, because if you don't do it, it's going to happen anyways. This is where the universe says the tower is coming down, whether or not you make a move or not. So, but you already have this idea that it's coming. And so I do believe that you're going to strike out with that tower. You can buddy up with the tower. You're budding up with the universe is really what this is, for this sudden insight, to make sure they understand this is where you're coming from. It has to be. There's too much broken communication because there's too many secrets. There's too many tensions. They don't see it really coming because there's too much distress within the situation. They're being too to themselves. It's almost like why do I keep feeling like you try to talk to them and they just kind of nudge you away, but then they don't want to let go. They don't want to cut the strings because they just believe in their head that everything is going to be the way that they want it to be. You know what? Maybe they're the emperor. Maybe you have two emperors. Maybe you have an emperor in reverse and you're looking for the emperor itself, because you clarify on the emperor, because I feel like the emperor's two different energies. I feel like they want to just sit over here kind of as their own emperor, thinking that everything's fine. Nothing bad's going to happen until you come off that gallows pole over there, that tree. I'm telling you. And the Wheel of Fortune. I'm telling you, because the divine has already got this. This is already predestined to happen with the tower. The tower says, the universe says it's going to happen whether the King of Cups likes it or not, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. You're going to follow in my footsteps over here for the inevitable fate of the tower, or are you going to, just watch it crumble? You want to be on the side of it. It's like you already know what's happening, so you're like putting yourself, in its path with it instead of against it, because then it will hurt really, really bad. No, because there will be a negotiations and balancing out the decisions. Yeah. So on the Emperor over here, it's like this is where the control and the protection is coming from, and it's going to be more practical. Yeah. It could literally be your dad or a family member or somebody, because I'm getting the House card, which is kind of crazy, the Family card. Take it how it resonates. I just feel like there's two different people here. For some of you, it might be. I feel like one's over here on your side, which could be your dad, your granddad, a new love coming in, or a new love you already have, best friend, whatever it is, who's standing by you, who's the Emperor. But I also feel like, now if you know that it's just you who's standing your ground, being that leadership, no matter what, you're doing that anyways. I feel like the Emperor is there and he's got your back and he's helping you understand and helping you make decisions about the situation, because they know there's a fight coming. They know there's strife, there's tension, some kind of territorial issue coming out of the situation with the passionate project. There's a lot of frustration and stress when it comes to this situation, and I do feel like this Emperor is like, hey, but everything's going to be okay. Look, And then again, for some of you, the Emperor could be a new love as well, who's starry-eyed about you, who's helping and got your back to the situation, who's coming in as the Knight of Wands, who could be an Aries, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus cusp, or a Leo. Could also be an Aquarius coming as well. But however the situation is, lacks of ego, it doesn't matter. They're patiently planning the situation with the Ten of Cups. Yeah, in the end, everything's going to be fine. You're going to walk away from the situation. They're just going to have some, they're just going to have some issues that's going to say, well, you know what? I see what's going on. There could have been some infidelity within the situation as well, and this caused a lack of focus. That's for some of you. Doesn't have to be. But there was also a lot of selfishness and impatience when it came to the King of Cups. Because no matter what, the King of Cups doesn't want to talk to you anyways. And so you're saying the grass died over here in this situation. So I'm just blowing my horn. Because it doesn't matter, the universe is blowing the horn anyway, saying it's time to go. It's time to go out of this relationship. So it doesn't matter whatever the situation is. It became too toxic. It became, it became too destructive. The behavior, none of the behaviors are changing. People don't want to be reliable. It's unpredictable. People are not doing what they want to do. The King of Cups is doing what they want to do, right? So, interesting. So, yeah. Okay. So the universe is saying it's up to you. But, it is up to you no matter what when it comes to the situation. I mean, it's always up to you anyways. We all have free will. But listen to your intuition, because that's what's really, really guiding you to the situation, right? Because it says you're ready, so be assertive about that. You know what's going on when it comes to the situation anyways. Almost feels like for some of you, were just waiting for the perfect timing. But you probably were, because you're in hangman mode. So you're just like, okay, I'm just waiting. Yeah. So just waiting for that perfect timing, waiting for the universe to almost like, okay, are you going to back me up for this situation? Where's my backup crew? And the universe like, now, right? You're going to start this new phase, have an absolution about the situation. There probably will be a lot of forgiveness when it comes to the situation. For some reason, I do feel like some of you are going to come in and be like, I'm really sorry that we can't work this out. I'm really sorry, that this is really going down this way, but this is the way it has to be. So I do feel like there is some kind of redemption when it comes to forgiveness as well. Yeah. And that's just because you're really, really figuring it out that no, I'm sorry this can't work, I've tried it. It was overwhelming. I can't do it, I'm taking my cup to go look for my Nine of Cups. I just can't do this anymore, right? Ouch. Okay, my friends. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.